Hello everybody, welcome to day 2 of working with our solar plexus or manipura. So I hope you're having a good week so far. I hope you're finding these sessions fruitful and an opportunity for you to be in observation and contemplation. So we talked about the meaning and the energies behind Manipura and its location and its function and all of that yesterday. And we went through what the symbology of it was. So what I want us to do today is, having gone through all of that, now that we have become familiar with all of those concepts, and now that we have had a chance to percolate and think about what those concepts really mean to us, now we have an opportunity to let go of any beliefs that no longer serve us, and let go of any limiting thoughts, right? Let go of any of the things that you are now becoming aware of that are limiting you, or you need to change your perspective in order for you to have a better version of what you want. Right? Does that make sense? So this chakra is all about sustainable energy, right? Because part of the journey of manifestation is the creation journey, and that requires sustained energy. In order for you to get work done in physics, you need 3 basic components. You need a point of origin, you need a point of destination, and in between you need energy spent in a specific direction for a specific period of time. So you need this expenditure of energy, and this energy needs to come from somewhere. Our solar plexus is the energy center that allows us to sustain our life. Now, here's the thing. This is probably one of the chakras that we are most familiar with, because responsibility, accountability, doing things in routine is something that we are all taught in all cultures, no matter where we're from. Right? This sense of duty, this sense of maintaining a lifestyle. I'm not just talking about the aspiring to it, but maintaining a lifestyle. And in the light manifestation, in the good way, this leads to success. This means you following your dream and your interests and your talents, and sustaining that and putting energy towards that, and ending up at the destination you have designed. That's if you are very lucky and everything lines up in life. But sometimes what happens is we do this not for thrival, but for survival. Right? So a lot of us learn to be in this responsible state for a survival strategy, not because we are going to thrive in this situation. Okay. In that case, what happens is our energy, our sustainable energy and sustaining energy, is spent on the needs of other people. This is when we become people pleasers. This is when we become duty bound. This is when we allow society as a whole, or a subset of it, that which is closest to us, our family, our friends, our environment, to influence what it is that we spend our energy on, our sustaining energy on. Now, this life force, this energy that we're putting about, is incredibly important. It is the stuff that creates the universe. It's everything that we are experiencing is the result of the accumulation of the power of this chakra. Right? Everything that we build is because we have the ability to sustain this power. Think of the way that billionaires become billionaires. What are they accumulating? They're accumulating, the wealth that they're accumulating is the difference between the energy that they're using from their workers underneath them and the amount of compensation that they pay them in return. That's the wealth. That's the value of what they have. If they paid their workers what their lives were worth, not what their actions were worth, but what their lives were worth, that is being spent. This energy, this sustaining energy. Energy doesn't disappear in this universe, right? Nothing gets destroyed. So the sustaining life force that you have, that you're putting out there, has value. When you get undercompensated for what it's valued at, there becomes a surplus that then billionaires and gazillionaires collect to become what they are. So it is the most valuable thing that we have. And the most fundamental question you can ask yourself is, what am I spending this on? We have learned to be dutiful. We have learned to be in cyclical patterns. We have learned to find comfort in that. But are you spending your vital energy out of a sense of duty? Out of a sense of desperation? Or out of a sense of maintaining a state of peace and joy? Sustaining this curious journey that is your life, that is unraveling and becoming and being written all the time. Right? So what we want to let go of today is the kinds of things that limit our ability to shine as bright as we can for ourselves. And to put this sustaining energy on us, on ourselves first. And then by extension, those we love, the things we care about, and that circle keeps getting bigger and bigger, right? That's one of the points about energy. We may just be aware of the first exchange of energy, but it ripples out. I don't know if you've ever seen this, that they make commercials like this all the time, telling people to be kind, telling people to smile at each other. You will, for example, you'll see the first person is walking by and smiles at a stranger, and then that stranger smiles at someone else, and then that person smiles, and that chain continues. It's kind of like when you throw a stone into a still pond, and those ripples just keep going and going. If you're in the center, the only ripple you'll see is the first one, right? But this energy permeates out. So when we start to put our energy on that which sustains us and our best health, it emanates out from us, and it feeds the people we care about the most, the society we care about, the planet we care about, and it just ripples out. It doesn't have any other choice. Okay. So what we want to do is let go of anything that comes up. Anything that comes up about this sustainability, and also mistaking survival for thrival. So what I want to do is take us quickly into the Manipura. I'm not going to call it solar plexus because that's Sura and that's up here. So I'm going to call it Manipura for the remainder of today's session. And so we're going to go into this chakra. We're going to sit and we're going to be in observation of what comes up. I am going to give you prompt words today. I'm not going to give you full sentences. I want you to be in observance. because I want to give you a chance to really connect in there, I'm not really going to give you a lot of instructions. If you've been following this series, you know some of the things that we do. So when thoughts come up, I will say words, and I want you to notice your reaction to that. I want you to notice what thoughts come up, what keywords come up. Listen to the words. I want you to listen to your body, the sensations in your body. Where do you feel them? And I want you to connect both of these to your dominant hand. I'm not going to give you these prompts in there because I want you to maintain that connection, and I want you to do this on your own. Okay? And I want you to be in observation. I don't want to give you a task in there and break that concentration. So I just want you to be in observation. Observe what comes. Whatever comes is okay. If nothing comes, it's okay. If a lot comes, it's okay. We are not going to judge what happens. We are just going to go and sit in observation. And then once we come out, we're going to try to decide what everything that we observed meant, what's good, what's not. All of that process you'll do by yourself as you're rounding. Okay? All right. So, if you're ready, if you're seated on a chair like I am, we're going to put our feet flat on the ground. Make sure they're not crossed. Sit straight in your chair. Tuck your belly button into your stomach. Okay, so you have a supported lower back. You don't want to let your belly go and curve your back. Drop your shoulders and take them back. You don't want to be wearing them for earrings. Tuck your chin a little bit to make sure your spine is actually straight. Close your eyes and release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And from here, wherever you are with your breath, let's exhale here. And now let's take a deep breath in. Light yourself up from within as you breathe in. And as you exhale, release any tension in your body into your out breath. One more time, deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax a little bit more in your mind and in your body. And one more time, let's take a deep breath in. Put as much light as you can inside with your breath. And as you exhale, really, really relax your mind and let go of your physical body. With our next deep breath in, we're going to send all of our love and we're going to grow roots to the center of Mother Earth and connect. And as you exhale, see if you can feel the warmth of Mother Earth coming through your veins in your body. Now, with our next deep breath in, we're going to send all of our love and gratitude to the center of Mother Earth. And as we exhale, we make ourselves open for any lessons that she wants to bring us in this session. One more time, let's send all of our love and gratitude to Mother Gaia for sustaining us. And as you exhale, become become aware of her resilience, her bountifulness, and her beauty. Now I want you to imagine yourself standing in miniature at the crown of your head. There's an elevator going deep down inside your body, right in front of you. I want you to step in and start to descend along your spine down inside your body. Slowly we descend past the eyes and the nose and the mouth. As we pass the chin and enter the throat, the deeper we go, the less light there is behind your eyes. We pass the throat and the clavicles, and we slowly go past the heart. We continue to go down past the stomach and just below the stomach at the belly button, the elevator comes to a stop. Step out of the elevator and into the hallway that leads straight. In front of you is the door to your Manipura chakra, to your city of jewels. I want you to notice the door, the size, the shape, what it's made out of, what color it is. Notice the door handle and the opening mechanism. Notice if there are any locks on this door. If there are, you are the only one with the key or keys, as the case may be. Now I want you to take a deep breath in, put your hand on the door handle, and as you exhale, I want you to open the door, step in, and close the door behind you. Now I want you to notice what is present in this room. Notice the size of the room. Notice the colors present in the room. I want you to start walking into the room, further into the center of the room. The room is golden on the inside. It's almost bright white. The walls are darker, but the floor is golden, that's concentrated in the center to be almost white. I want you to sit in this white center of energy. As you do, I want you to notice that even though there's a lot of strong energy here, it is in a state of flow. Sorry. It's as if there's energy flowing both from beneath and above, coming into this center. But it's as if they are pulsating. It is not a constant flow of energy. It waxes and it wanes. It ebbs and it flows. It's as if this is a river with a flow. Sometimes the flow is stronger and it can threaten to flood the plains around. Sometimes the flow is less. Sometimes it almost feels like it's run dry. But no matter what, there's always a flow. As long as you breathe, there is flow. Now I want you to think about your own energy. The energy you have used to sustain yourself. The one you have used to learn and create and maintain your daily routines. Everything you do from the moment you awaken to the moment you go to sleep. Now I want you to answer a question. Who is the person or people who consumes the majority of that energy? This is the fire inside of you. What is it burning for? I want you to notice any words that come up or any sensations that come up when I say the following words to you. Duty, responsibility, honor, obligation, curiosity, joy, surviving, This is the moment you get to decide what you're letting go of. Notice what comes up and notice what you want to release. When you're ready, I want you to find the entrance door one more time. Let's slowly make our way back to the door. Hold on to everything that you're feeling and sensing. Get it ready for a release. When you're ready and you're at the door, I want you to take a deep breath in. Now open the door, exhale, step out and close the door behind you. If it was locked, make sure you lock it back up. And let's get back into the elevator. Hold on to everything that you're going to release. And slowly let's come back up. We go past the stomach towards the heart. Past the heart and towards the throat. Now as you enter the throat and into the face, the higher we go, the more light there is behind your eyes. Slowly we go past the chin and the mouth and the nose. Let's start wiggling our toes. As we go past the eyes, start wiggling your fingers. And as you arrive back at the crown, become aware of your physical body again. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Sorry, I got a little bit of a cough in the middle there. So, I hope you were able to connect. I hope you were able to see what you needed to see. And now what we're going to do is we're going to release all of that onto paper. Okay? So whatever it is that came up for you, it will be different for everybody. Whatever came up for you, this is the time we let it go. So I want you to take a deep breath in. Really bring everything top of mind. And then I want you to release onto paper until you feel satisfied. Okay? Until you feel like all of the energy is empty. I highly recommend making sure your feet are planted on the ground. And from here, you know the process. The first thing we're going to do is we're bringing peace to ourselves. And the way that we can do that is by becoming aware of how it is that we are spending our energy on a day-to-day basis. We get so used to the routines of our lives sometimes that a lot of time goes by before we pay any attention to what we're doing on a daily. And again, a lot of the things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis are duty bound. They're defined by what others need from us and what we need to do in order to survive. Remember that this is the center we use to sustain things. And this comes after our sacral chakra, which is the seat of the establishment of self. It is where we express ourselves, our needs, our biases, our internal programming. Now, if part of that internal programming is trauma, which for a lot of us it is, we also perpetuate the same trauma patterns. Sorry, not trauma. Okay. This center in our body creates our energy centers. It creates our willpower. It creates our, literally the essential energy we are burning on a day-to-day basis to maintain life. Think of your digestive system. That's what this is attached to. Okay, think of your stomach. Its job is never done. Think of your heart. In traditional Chinese medicine, we have two types of organs. We have organs that are filled and never full, and full and never filled. So the function of the organs, like your lung, like your heart, like your stomach, these organs are filled. They're constantly being filled with something, and then they constantly empty back out. Okay, so it's a process. We can't get comfortable, we can't get cozy, we can't get used to things being a specific way. That is against our growth. And yet we all seek that comfortable place that we can hide in, or we can at least just be comfortable in. That is a very low flying plane. We are social creatures, and we have a psychological need to belong to our society. And in our societies, we have managed to use that internal need to create a sense of duty towards things that we may not necessarily, it may not benefit us to be dutiful to. The concept of duty, the concept of shame, is actually very disempowering. Okay? What you want to have, you want to do things in your life out of inspiration, because you have a burning desire to do it, not because you're obligated. If we spend this incredibly precious energy of our city of jewels on obligations, then in our life we will find ourselves unfulfilled. We will go through a midlife crisis at some point. Because the point of us, of our creation, of our existence, wasn't for us to develop and honor a sense of duty. It is to get to know ourselves, our talents, our unique abilities, and then flourish them to the best of our abilities. This is also a rather masculine center. Right? It's associated with the sun. It's associated with action and decisiveness. And those are masculine qualities, divine masculine qualities. I'm not saying those are male qualities, I'm saying those are masculine qualities. So the feminine only presents itself, no matter what your gender is, and we all have a feminine inside of us, and we all have a masculine inside of us. And the feminine will only express itself in the presence of a strong, protective masculine. Women will understand what this means inherently. We let our guard down when we have the men who protect us and love us the most. In the absence of that, women will step into their masculine. Everybody. In the absence of the protective masculine, the feminine becomes the protective masculine. And it goes into warrior mode. Now, staying in the warrior mode in the long term can be very detrimental, because it takes away your ability to be receptive. And receptivity is one of the most important qualities we can have in life. If we don't have the capacity to take in new information and to create a new perception, which is what the work of the divine feminine is, to intuit, to understand, to connect, to cooperate, not to compete. If we don't give ourselves the ability to be in that space, if we don't have capacity for that, then we step into our masculine problem-solving, action-oriented versions of ourselves. And then we're always looking to do something to fix things. We take on responsibility. One of two things. Either we take on too much responsibility and we become hyper-independent and we don't expect anything from anybody, thus removing ourselves from society and the energies that should be there to help us thrive and to help us do better, and because we're social creatures. Or either we become hyper-independent, or we shrug all responsibility and we become victims. That's the difference between the narcissist and the people pleaser. So, in your life, what is the motivating factor for you? What are you spending the majority of your day on? And how satisfied do you feel with this expenditure of energy? This is also a good time for you to notice your relationship with shame. And guilt. How much are they motivating factors in your day-to-day routine? One of the things that's really, really important to understand about this center, this jeweled center, is that even though there is so much energy in here, the one mistake we make about it is that we expect it to be constant and the same all the time. Right? But life never turns out the way we think. The universe has other plans. One of my favorite sayings is, if you want to make God laugh, make plans. Right? And with those plans comes attachment. We get attached to a certain result. And when we don't achieve that result, we get really down on ourselves and we dim our own light. Right? And we start criticizing ourselves. And we start talking about failures. There are no failures in life, only feedback. And the only reason that we feel that disappointed is because we are attached to the outcome that we are working for. And that attachment sometimes creates a bias. We start to not recognize the good things we have learned through this process or we have achieved because we didn't get exactly what it was we thought we were going to get. But the point is, in this universe, nothing is ever destroyed. The point is, if you spend energy in a certain direction, it will accumulate. It will show. And if you don't spend the energy, it's the same way. So, when you say you want something in your life, how much do you really want it? And how badly you want something is directly dependent upon how much time you spend on that thing, doing that thing you say you want. This is why, for example, in relationships, quality time is so important. Because you're spending that time creating and developing and furthering an emotional connection. Right? Because we say we want it, because we say it's important. So you have to put your most vital energy behind it, the part of you that matters most. Right? You say you want to be financially abundant, you want to be rich. Well, how much of your day, how much of your energy, how much of your waking time are you spending on learning about and experimenting with making money? And I'm not talking about working in your 9 to 5. That's not making money. That's making peanuts. That's making ends meet. That's not real making money. If you want to make real money, you have to have your own business. What problem are you solving for the world if you want to be really rich? Because that's all it takes to have a successful business. Find a problem in the world, find a solution that is easy to use and scalable at a large scale, then you'll have financial abundance. How much of your time are you spending on that? How much energy are you spending on that? If you say you want to be in a good relationship, if you want to manifest that into your life, well, how good are you at treating yourself well? Are you taking yourself out on dates? How well are you pursuing your own pleasure? How much are you putting yourself is directly related to and proportional to how much you can tolerate its opposite. Right? If you want to be fit, for example, if you want to be strong, if you want when you start exercising, you're going to feel weak. And as you progress, that's not going to change, because as you advance, you're just going to need to use higher weights in order to challenge yourself. So you will always, when you are training, you will always feel weak. In training, you will always feel weak. How much training can you take? How much feeling weak can you take so that you can develop strength? If you want to learn a new skill, you have to be able to be in conscious incompetence. You have to know that you don't know, and you have to keep practicing, and you have to fail enough number of times until you learn, until it becomes second nature. And not knowing things is psychologically unsettling for us. So, are you willing to put in the pain? Are you willing to put in the work? How much of the opposite? We spend a lot of time complaining about the things we want and we don't have. We don't think about the price of getting it and how willing we have been in our life to tolerate the opposite. If you want to go on a diet, for example, if you want to maintain a certain weight, you have to be able to tolerate not eating certain foods. And that has to do with this chakra, that has to do with your ability to sustain things. And again, this becomes easier when you are doing this out of inspiration and not out of desperation. When we are inspired to do something, we tend to do a lot better at it. When we love what we do, when we do it with excitement, we are so much better at it. We have a lot more longevity. And this is why this sustaining power comes after your sacral chakra, you finding out what it is that produces joy for you, and for you to create that. You know, a lot of business gurus will tell you, if you don't want to work a day in your life, do what you love. Find a way to make money doing what you love. Then you'll never work a single day in your life. Every day is fun. Right? That's sustainable, because it's sustaining your joy. It's sustaining your why. It's sustaining your purpose. That's why having purpose is so much more important than having willpower. Having faith, having belief, having this thirst for something that you can't explain, which is the function of this chakra, is going to get you through those moments. It's going to get you through the journey of the fool to the genius. But you have to love it. You have to love it unconditionally. And it has to come from the core of your joy. Otherwise, you will not maintain it. And you need to stop blaming yourself when your willpower gives in and you go back to doing that which you please. Pleasure is the greatest mechanism and reward mechanism in our body. Our body is a pleasure-seeking mechanism. Our brain is a pleasure-seeking organism. It seeks things that makes it happy, like sugar, like salt, like sex. Okay? The things that release these happy hormones are the things that your brain craves. So we want that pleasure. We are hardwired for it. And yet society teaches us to neglect it. And society puts us into somebody training. So some of us go into positions that are not meant for us. We don't follow our vocation. We get into jobs, right? Just to maintain, just to survive. We are not thinking about thriving. Okay? Now, once you have created peace within yourself, once you've created a sense of calm and letting things go, what we're going to do is, as always, dissolve this. We didn't get here to this level of sustaining things and knowing what's important and how to sustain them and all of that by ourselves. Okay? People were involved in the training, and people will be involved in you sustaining yourself. We are social creatures. So we want to create more connections to the people around us, to the society around us. And we want to change our position in regards to what survival means and what sustenance means and how we're going to sustain and maintain relationships moving forward. That's what all of these lines that we draw now are all about. And again, I'm using the loose ends. Especially at the ends of loops, I want to make sure that I'm giving that energy somewhere to go. And of course, once we have those, as always, we're going to create the connections and we're going to round all of these connections. We want to create ease in these transitions. We don't want them to be too sharp. this chakra can also become very involved in the idea of perfection and maintaining some level of perfection or achieving a certain level of perfection. Right? Because it's about maintaining standards as well as anything else. And if we idealize the standards of our society, then there is a perfect ideal out there. And this is the chakra that is going to try to fixate on being perfect, on manifesting as perfect. But the truth is, there is no such thing as perfect anywhere in the universe. Perfection is an abstract truth. It has never been and it never will be real. It's interesting how often we are called irresponsible. If we want to really chase our dreams and our joy. We tend to send the people who follow their joy beyond anything to the fringes of society, unless they make a lot of money and can go into entertainment, and then a select few are worshipped. But the majority of the people who don't conform are disenfranchised, they're shunned. Society considers them to be eccentric or fools. And yet the whole point of our existence has been to find our joy and to follow it and to sustain that. And to keep creating joyful experiences for ourselves and our loved ones. That's the point of this life. You are as much responsible to yourself as you are to others, if not more. You are responsible for the kind of life you get to live, and we only get one of them. Even if you believe in reincarnation, you will not live this experience twice. You don't get a do-over. None of us do. And so how you spend this one, how you experience this one, is completely up to you based on the choices you make, especially as an adult. Now, those choices are definitely informed by what your superego has taught you. So what your parents have taught you, and what your society has taught you, and people in positions of authority have taught you. But the point is, you can become aware of those voices, and you can actually upgrade or update that software. Your mind works exactly like a computer. In creating computers, we have recreated ourselves, right? There's a computing center in the center that is interacting with data that is coming from its environment, and it's sending out commands, exactly like a computer. That's what our brain is. So we can also upgrade our own software. Our software is what Carl Jung would call the superego. It is the voices of the people of influence around us in the state where our ego is getting developed. So between the ages of 18 months to 5 years old. And then later on. All of these voices of authority that we then internalize and continue to obey even when the actual person is not around is your programming. It's your software. And that you can update. Once you become aware of it, once you become which version you have, you can choose which version you want. But first you need to recognize which version you have. You need to get to know yourself, which is why we started from the roots. You need to know who you are and declare what you are. Without that understanding, the rest of it won't make sense. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. So without looking at what it is that you're doing every day and asking yourself, why am I doing this? You will be on autopilot, and you'll be running the software that was designed for and by someone else. And if those things are serving you well in life, and you're looking at yourself going, hey, this is a pretty good experience, I wouldn't change a thing, then hey, you got lucky. Don't touch that software. But if you're looking at some aspects of your life and going, this is not what I expected, this is not making me happy, I'm not feeling fulfilled, then the first thing you should do is look at your programming. Why is it that the way you were programmed and the experience that you're having are not making you happy, or not giving you the results that make you satisfied? Wasn't that what the point of this programming was for? Didn't they tell you to do X, Y, and Z for X, Y, and Z amount of time, and then you would get to experience A, B, and C? Well, if you're not having the A, B, and C experiences in your life, maybe it's time to go back. Have a review of what you believe, what you're telling yourself all the time, because the universe is eavesdropping. And it's not just eavesdropping in a passive way, it's eavesdropping like the genie out of the bottle. It is saying, your wish is my command. If you focus on something long enough, I will manifest it for you. I will bring it for you. Also, if you have spent any part of your life overcoming adversity or trauma, and now you're looking at yourself and saying, I'm not where I was in my life or where I was expecting myself to be, and you're considering yourself a failure, then I need you to know that the energy you were expecting to spend to get to the destination you feel you haven't arrived at was spent keeping you alive. And that is a very valid and worthy use of your essential energy. It does not mean you were wasted. It does not mean you used your energy in a bad place or in a bad way. You should not be reprimanded for it. You should be commended for it. You have come this far. You have the ability to go the rest of the way. You have the ability to create everything you've ever wanted in your life. First, you need to know exactly what it is, and then you need to spend all of your energy on it. Well, not all, but at least a good amount. The more we focus on what we want, again, if you want a fit body, you're going to go to the gym. You're going to put in the energy it takes to have a fit body. If you want to have a fit mind, then you're reading self-help books, and you're going to therapy, and you're getting into group situations and putting yourself in growth situations that challenge you. You spend the energy on it. Actions, what you do matters. What you do matters a lot more than what you say, especially with yourself and to yourself. how much you behave within lack mentality with yourself will have an impact on how much you can manifest. The more you believe you are in lack, the more you believe that you are limited, the more you will behave that way. You have an unlimited amount of energy that you can generate. Because this is generative. This is not something that you were born with. This is generative, like the food you eat. Okay? We get this energy from external sources. Now, if you've been doing this with me long enough, I think you know what's coming next. Right? Once we have everything rounded, which I still don't. It's okay. As you color, you may find other areas that you did not fully round. That's okay. We can always go back. Once you feel like your rounding is complete, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to introduce frequency, and we're going to do that by introducing color. So we want to create, again, as usual, we want to color in sections, and we don't want to honor the boundaries. This part is intuitive. You don't have to keep your releases monochromatic. I'm keeping mine monochromatic for the duration of this series, but you don't have to. You can use whatever color you want. In fact, this chakra has 3 different colors because it is represented by the element of fire. Right? So feel free to use all of the colors. It has a yellow center, blue petals, dark blue petals, and a red triangle in the center. So if you really want to stick to the colors of the chakra itself, you are not just limited to yellow. Also remember one other thing. Just because it's been a certain way for a certain period of time, it does not mean it will be the same moving forward. What has happened in the past has very, very, very little to do with what is going to happen in the future. It creates probabilities, yes. But the possibilities are endless. Anything and everything is possible. Again, remember regret, shame, jealousy. These are all the kinds of things that waste the energy of your chakra. Guilt, shame, regret. They waste your essential energy. There's no reason anyway, ever, for you to be envious of anyone. There's no reason for you to regret anything in your life. If it could have been different, it would have been different. And if it wasn't, it means it wasn't meant for you. What is meant for you will never pass you by. And once you feel like you have enough of your page colored, congratulations, you are complete. And with that, we have let go of any blockages we feel within our Manipura, our city of jewel. And I think I hope that this has given you an opportunity to look inward and look at the way that you spend your energy. And really evaluate how you feel about it. Okay? Because on Friday, we are going to come in and declare everything we want to do moving forward with our energy. Okay? Sorry, I've got something in my throat today. So, with that said, I hope you enjoyed this session. Sorry for the coughing. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I will see you again on Friday. In the meantime, if you have any questions, you can either leave them here in the comments section for me, or you can email me directly and I will get back to your questions as soon as I can. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope you're finding it insightful and helpful, and I will see you on Friday, same time. Oh, actually, no. On Friday, we have to do this earlier because I have a medical appointment. So Friday, we're going to be here earlier. We're going to be here at noon Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay? Until then, I hope you enjoy this. Please be kind to yourself, take care of yourself, and I will see you again soon. Thank you, everybody.